We felt, those of us who are still around, that it would be necessary to make a clarification of what happened yesterday, to put the records straight. Yesterday, the Senate did not, I repeat, did not pass transfer of results, which was in the 2022 Act. What we passed, and which the Senate President himself, when he was doing a clarification sitting on his chair, is transmission of results. And I need to make this very clear. Every one of us who is a senator, who has the privilege to represent a senatorial district, came here under the trust of their senatorial zone. And the reason for us to go into a closed session was so that we can tidy up all the niggling things inside there. And when we now come back to plenary to pass it, that we will pass it without any rancor. I can assure you, on my honor and the honor of all of us who are standing here, that both the Electoral Committee of the Senate, then the ad hoc committee of the Senate, and also in the executive session that we had, that we all agreed on section 63, which is electronic transmission of votes, or electronic transmission of results. Transmit, not transfer. What is in 2022 is transfer, and we don't want a law that is vague. We don't want a law that will be misinterpreted by anybody. We want a law that is clear, concise, and can be interpreted by all, and that is unambiguous. So it is electronic transmission of results. Yes, thank you. I think we can end it here because we've done.
There was a real confusion, you know.
Well, that's the problem we have with you guys in the National Assembly. You're always confusing us, and we don't know what's going on.
We're not confusing you. Now, that was why we also, in our press conference, we said, usually, no matter how you do anything in the election, when we come back to do the next legislative day in our process, there's a votes and proceedings. When that votes and proceedings brought, then the Senate President will say, page 1, page 2. If there's any anomaly, you now point it and say, no, that wasn't what we approved. So that's why we said that this process is not over until we see the votes and proceedings. So that when we're looking at the votes and proceedings, if it is now there in the votes and proceedings that it is no longer electronic transmission, what is there is transfer as per whatever was there before, then we will say no, Mr. President, no.
Right. Well, two things here. Earlier, I read that you said that your integrity is at stake.
Obviously, every senator's integrity is at stake.
Right.
Because as we said, we are there only on public trust.
Indeed.
We are there because Nigerians say, go and do this for us.
And that's why people like to hear from people like you that they have a considerable measure of trust in. You also insist that the difference between transfer and transmission is deliberate. In practical terms, how does this wording prevent results from being delayed, altered, or selectively uploaded?
Because I've also given you the reason.
Right.
And the reason is simple. Every time you go to courts, because the wording there says transfer according to the guidelines of INEC.
Right.
And you go to court.
And that has been removed.
Precisely, we removed it now. Because the courts will always say, oh, whatever is the guidelines is not
Yes,
law.
we understand that. But just to be ineluctably clear.
Precisely.
Does the approved language that you've now approved, this language of transmission, compel INEC to transmit results from polling units in real time, or does it still leave room for discretion?
Well, that is why we say it should be transmit in real time.
Right.
So that there's no discretion given to INEC.
So that's the language we should expect to see.
That's exactly what we expect to see. And the reason is very simple. And I said this, and I always want Nigerians to know. If you claim that you're here on the mandate of the people, at any level in Nigeria, and you're facing an election, for God's sake, why do you want to have something that is murky?
Yeah, indeed.
I came here on the mandate of people of Abia South. I will prefer that on the day of election, real-time transmission, let the Abia South people say, we do not want you anymore.
Well, that's you.
What we want.
Yeah, indeed, that's you. But the votes and proceedings have not yet been adopted.
Precisely.
Until that happens, can Nigerians honestly say that this reform is secure?
We can now tell Nigerians, wait until you see the votes and proceedings, because the process of the votes and proceedings is also a process of acceptance or non-acceptance of what you write down.
Right.
If you now bring it and say, and we look at the votes and proceedings, and what you see is transfer, we will say, no, that's not what we approved.
Right.
Precisely.
There was no deliberate attempt on the part of the Nigerian Senate to delay the amendment of the Electoral Act. Our intention had always been to ensure that we do our best, and we do it painstakingly, taking our time to ensure that what comes out reflects the yearnings and aspirations of all Nigerians, and also to be sure that the next election, all questions connected with the next election will be answered by the amendments to the Electoral Act 2022. But the social media already is awash with the fact that the Senate has rejected electronic transmission. That is not true. That is not true. Electronic transmission had always been in our act. And what we did was to return the electronic transmission, which had been in our act and which was used in 2022. So please do not allow people to confuse you. If you're in doubt, we will make our final votes and proceedings available to you if you apply and you are entitled, so that you will see. This Senate, under my watch, has not rejected electronic transmission of results. It's in my interest as a participant in the next election for such to be done. So please don't go with the crowd. Don't go with the crowd. We have retained what was in the previous provision. That's all we did. So if we rejected what was proposed by way of amendment and said, let's retain what was in the previous provision, the previous provision had made allowance, had made provision for electronic transmission. So it is still there as part of our laws. And I think we should be moving forward, not moving backwards. There is no way we can, in this era of electronics, we will now be going backwards. So it's important to know that. So the membership of the conference committee.
But I tell you, this giant has feet of clay. Yes.
What is with
this giant of APC? He has feet of clay.
So at the election,
he has legs.
So at the election, you are going to target the clay feet, even with the bronze and the silver body.
If you get the feet, everything collapses. That's what will happen.
Does it look like because they say Tinubu has never lost an election?
Is that so?
That is what, historically speaking.
I do not think so. Everybody loses election.
Could 2027 be a first for Tinubu?
Yes, and you will see
that Tinubu can lose 2027.
He will lose 2027.
What gives you that confidence?
Because I know what Nigerians are feeling outside. Tinubu never won the election of 2023, and everybody knows it. Those who want to bet, we said fine. He has been declared winner, no problem. We acknowledge him as president, no problem. But we're going to meet him in the field, and I will see how he's going to cobble together that thing that will make him win again. it won't work. Because this time, everybody will be ready. It will no longer be an announcement at 3 a.m. before people will wake up in the morning. They will tell you, oh yeah, that will not work anymore. This time people are ready and we are ready. And the masses outside are even more ready. If you do an election today, you know what it's going to cost. How would you deal with this?